good, guys? Welcome back. Yes, back with me, the energetic J. And today we are back with another 10 questions with me, the energetic J. And today I have one of the most popular, amazing photographers and videographers that I know by the name of Tone, aka TVM Tone. How are you today?
Hey, I can't complain. And how you guys doing out here on the internet? TVM Tone in the building. Tap in with TVM. How are
Um,
you doing today, though? I mean, it's Christmas Eve, so the holidays. So a lot of mixed feelings for sure, for sure. But I feel like a lot of people are still trying to find the Christmas spirit, even with how to whether it's the weather or whatever the case may be. People still trying to find the Christmas spirit. So I feel like yes, it's a lot of different feelings this year for Christmas.
Oh yeah. I'm with you on that, but I'm trying to be in the Christmas spirit, even though I'm grown now. I can get no presents for real. I'm a little salty.
Hey, I'm about to say all my son's getting are getting all the gifts that I'm supposed to be receiving. So, but I appreciate everybody that's doing what they're doing on that end too. So, hey, it's part of growing up.
Hey man. Well, congratulations again, also, as well.
I'm gonna say you should be here any day now. So I'm excited. I'm gonna say should we excited.
As y'all should be. I'm very happy for y'all, man. No cap. I really am. Uh Alrighty. So I'm gonna start with question one. Question one. When did you start your creative content? Was it a certain age, certain era? Like what started it off for you? Like what inspired you?
You talking about with the videography?
What just period? 'Cause I know I've seen you do some shoots and I know you do videography, like the whole nine. Like what made you start like anything?
Really, it all started. It started like middle school for me, to be honest. Like, but I wasn't doing like camera stuff around that time. I was doing like music at the time. I started to, get into music, and it was a lot of my friends and stuff that was rapping and stuff. I had the rappers that I was watching as far as like celebrity rappers that kind of influenced what I do or influenced the music side. Like I was listening to like a lot of Lil Wayne, a lot of Kanye West, a lot of Ludacris, like Ludacris. That was like the guy I was trying to be like. I feel like in my earlier years, like when I was like 14, I started doing the music and stuff. Um, and yeah, I want to say that went on for a good little minute, shortly after, like a little bit after high school and everything like that. Started to get more serious. I feel like after high school, so like a little bit after 2020 or 2012, it, it started to get more on a serious tip. I started to learn more about it as far as it not being just about making a good song, but also being like when you start as a rapper, it's a business. But the thing that made me TVM Tone, which is where I'm getting to, but you gotta like a lot of people don't understand. You gotta hear the story about the rapper part to understand where TVM Tone came from. One of the things I feel like that was holding me back as a rapper, and it's funny because I couldn't wait to actually get on the interview to say this. I was the thing that made me getting the cameras and stuff and doing the videography. I was a broke rapper. I ain't gonna lie. As a rapper, to be a rapper, this is an expensive hobby. So you gotta. It's not just. I thought I was doing something because I could record my stuff. I could mix and master it. I was still trying to learn the beat side of it because I was starting to make beats around the time when I was starting to shoot videos and stuff. But I knew videos was like a big thing, and I liked watching like music videos. And I always thought like, well, for one, I thought I was gonna have like some cold music videos, or I was gonna link with somebody who was cold with the camera, and then I was gonna have me these crazy visuals, this, that, and the third. And then it got to a point where I was like, even with people I was cool with and I understood they shoot, if anything, I understand them a little better now on the business side of things. Like they had their price, and even if I could try to talk them down to talk them down this, that, and the third because we cool and all of this, I got to a point where I was like, let me try to do this. Let me see if I could do it. And then I just started shooting music videos for myself for a brief period. Like in 2000, I started shooting videos like 2015. Um, I started shooting videos 2015. They was terrible. I ain't gonna lie. I was shooting for myself at first. Like some of them, I ain't gonna lie. They wasn't all terrible. Some of them was smooth, but a majority of them was terrible. I ain't gonna like. It was crazy. But then it got to a point where I wasn't just shooting my own. I had people that was asking me like, "Yo, do you shoot music videos?" Or like people saw the like. It was a lot of times where I would go out trying to get like pictures and videos of my shows. Like when I was going to perform and stuff, I had my camera on me when I was out and about. So it got to a point where, I had when people started paying me, especially when those people who was paying me, because I was doing a lot of free work in the beginning. It was a lot of people that just start kind of just throwing me money out the blue. Like, yeah, you take this picture, you can, you get a video of my performance, this, that, and the third. I'll throw you this, and I just, I networked, and shortly but soon, I want to say towards 2027. I mean, 2017. My bad. I'm tripping. 2017. I'm going too far into the future. 2017. I started to take it like more serious for real, and that's when I started to actually shoot for real. So I want to say yeah, the history behind it. Started off as a rapper, and then I tried to. Well, initially the video stuff was to try and get money so I could get people to shoot my videos, but I just wound up getting to the point where I was like, "Hey, this video stuff ain't that bad. I'm pretty good at it. So let me see where this go." And it was making some money, so that's what kind of. I feel like that's what got me where I'm going. Like the creative. What was that? I'm about to say, and then because you said my career when I started, like what influence and everything like that. I feel like it's just being creative in general. I'm a creative individual. Like I like to draw when I was young. Like I said, I was doing music when I started off doing music before I did any of the camera stuff. So I feel like just creativity followed me through my entire life. But being the rapper and all of the other stuff in the beginning, that kind of birthed a lot of the stuff that's going on now.
Wow, that is a very powerful and inspiring story and background, actually, because you don't hear a lot of people. In my opinion, I haven't heard a lot of people. It's like I started off this way and then came this way. They just kind of go into it, and for you to actually build yourself up, that's why I feel like you are so good and so great in what you do. And you've always been in that creative
I
mindset. And
appreciate
I feel like all people should be like you, honestly, like when it comes to that, because you can't just jump into something and be like, yeah, I'm about to do this. Like, no, people can tell when you really studied your craft or you really changed up your craft, but you know what you're doing type thing. I really respect that, honestly.
I'm about to say well, when it comes to doing something that you actually like to do, or do something, like when it comes to just getting into something, I guess this is like if you're a person that anybody that's watching this, that if you start a business or something like that, one thing I learned, I feel like in 2018, because that's when the 2018, like the end of 2018, coming to 2019, that's when I got really serious. I feel like that's when TBM became like a real more serious type of level type thing. Because I started the videography stuff really I didn't have all the equipment when I started out. Like I didn't have all the lenses, all of the lights. I didn't have half of the stuff I got now. I literally like built this up piece by piece. So like my thing is, but the thing that helped me get to that point of building it piece by piece, and this is just like I said, for anybody that's watching this, you gotta really be committed to it. Like I had to really treat this. I had to treat this business like, well, in this case, even before I found out that I had or that I was, gonna be a dad, basically my first son basically was my business. Like I had to treat my business like a child, or like my child, basically. Like I had to really commit. I had to really like, but it's one of those things where I feel like I was so passionate about it. I didn't even know I was locking in on it. So that's another thing. I feel like the passion just, help push a lot of that stuff through. But like, if you're really into something, you gotta be in it basically. Like if you really want it to go somewhere, you gotta really be determined for it to go somewhere for you.
Absolutely.
And don't let a shorthanded beginning discourage you, because I'm living proof that, you know, you could start off with only these couple materials and only charging this much, and even probably doing it for free, to the point where now you know, you got equipment that's this much and that much, and you bumping into these people and them people, and now you making, you know, some pretty decent money. Like, you making some pretty good money to the point where you can actually support yourself. So, and if anything, it's gonna go further just off of, you know, off of the faith that I got in it. So definitely, to anybody that's dream chasing, or, you know, you got a business, something you're passionate about, never give up. You got to keep, you know, keep your foot on the gas.
Absolutely. Great. Really great words of advice, man. I ain't even gonna lie. Very great words of advice. Question 2. Do you prefer, I know you do a lot of things, but do you prefer, out of the things that I've seen you do you prefer shooting videos or doing photos, in your opinion?
Honestly, I like doing video more. I like doing video more. But I feel like I like doing video more just because I like what comes along with that, I guess. Like, it seemed like it's always so fast paced. It's always so much you can do with it. I mean, it was like, because I know a lot of photographers and stuff that they can take, if any, they can take some of the simplest stuff and they can make that, you know, they can make it into this big work of art. And I'm trying to get to that level of creativity to where I can make it like that. But the same way how they are with photos like that, that's pretty much how I am with video. So that's kind of why I feel like video is gonna be the better thing for me, or is always the better one for me. Like, I always enjoyed it more.
Okay. Okay. Cool. And like you said, you gotta do, if you're gonna do something, you gotta really like love it. So I feel like you really love shooting videos. You know what I mean? And that really
Yeah,
shows.
basically, yeah.
Right.
It's that, and I watch a lot of movies, so or I watch a lot of movies, like I said, movies, music videos, all of that. And learning that all of that stuff kind of tie, or in this case, knowing that the stuff that I watch, damn near like I could, you know, possibly do so. I could recreate some of the same stuff I'm seeing on TV and stuff like that. I don't know, like, it's a challenge to me, and it just makes me want to always, you know, feel like, hey, I could go ahead and I could go these routes, or I could make this happen, I could make that happen, and if I make this happen, it's gonna be something that somebody else, you know, gonna see, and they probably gonna be like, wow. But then I can be sitting there like, my name is attached to that, like, you know, I just, you know, the people that's, you know, feeling it and they like, wow, you know, it feel good to know my name is attached to it, and all of these people are, you know, praising that, basically. Or the same way how you see a lot of people praising all of these big films and this, that, and the third. It's gonna be dope to actually have a moment like that where I'm like, yeah, you know, I had my hand in that.
Wow. I'm actually very happy for you, man. And you're very inspirational, not gonna lie. You really are. And personally, I'm proud of you because I like to see my fellow people out here doing their thing, man. Kudos to you, man. Honestly.
I appreciate it. Shoot, if anything, I'm proud of you for this platform. I might have said, like I said, I watched your you know, earlier episodes, the previous episodes, and shoot, off of what I or shoot from when I met you and I was doing your photo shoots and everything like that, and the energy that was there, I was like, okay, this is a cool individual. And then even just watching, you know, some of the stuff that happens on your social media as far as, you know, content creating wise and everything like that, I'm like, yeah, you know, this is a very dope individual. And shoot, I'm looking forward to seeing where this platform actually goes for it too. Because for the last 2 years, I feel like it's really been a huge spike in like black and like black, take over, basically, for real, for real. And I like to see that.
Well,
Like,
thank
the
you.
last 2 years, more specifically, I've been seeing a lot of black businesses, a lot of black platforms. It's good to see that they starting to, like, we starting to get that, you know, good part, like our own section back. Like, we literally starting to have our own section in this, basically. So I love to see that.
And you ain't lying neither. And again, thank you. I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I'm just so, I don't know. I'm kind of speechless. That's actually nice to hear from someone I used to, well, I have worked with before. It's very nice to
Mhm.
hear that. I do appreciate that, man. And you are absolutely right. It is a big spike in melanated people who are doing creative content in all ways, shapes, and forms. Like it is skyrocketing. Like you ain't telling no lies.
Yeah.
Question 3. If you could meet one celebrity or person that you like seeing growing up, that you if you haven't met them already, who would it be?
Damn. Well, in this case, the person I want to meet is Ludacris. I ain't gonna. I told you initially, like when I was talking about influences and stuff like that. It will really. It's between two people for real, because one of them, they kind of like. Well, both of these people were basically like the blueprint for my life for real, as far as like their music and then their influence in general. Some people probably gonna feel the way about the other person that I'm speaking about, but honestly, like it's well between these two people. Like if I could meet any celebrity, it's between Kanye and it's between Ludacris. It's between Kanye and Ludacris. If I could meet any one of those two, like I feel like at that point you can't tell me nothing at that. You can't tell me nothing at that point. Like, what you mean? I done sat here and I done networked with Kanye. I done networked with Luda. Like, and really in this case, like some people look at it like, okay, with the Ludacris part, like, oh, well, it's just Ludacris. I mean, Ludacris is like my hero basically. Kanye is my hero, but then also I look at what really comes with linking with Kanye. What could come? What's the outcome from that? So like yeah, that's for me. Like I said, you couldn't tell me nothing if I wanted to meet any of those two. You couldn't
Man,
tell me nothing.
man, I like that because I can tell you come from an era like myself. You come from an era where music was really popping, and Ludacris and Kanye was definitely a big part of that back in the day. And in my opinion, they still are in a lot of ways. Regardless of how anybody feels about Kanye, especially, they still have that footprint and that blueprint in this industry. You feel me? So for you to say like Luda and Kanye, you know, I already know. I just already know, man. Like you got some taste. Okay.
For real.
Question 4. If you can go to any state to do any of your content in, which state would it be?
Hmm. Uh, I think where I would, or in this case, the place I feel like I go. It seems cliche, but I know I haven't been yet. I go to Cali. The only reason I would go to Cali personally is because I feel like it's always something. It's always something going on. Now, the only thing that probably would be a thing, like I feel like it would be on the business side, like to some people, I guess, or in this case, I feel like to some people will be discouraged on the business side is the fact that I feel like I go to Cali, it's gonna be a bunch of people. It's gonna be a lot of. It's either gonna be a lot of paparazzi, like paparazzi as far as people just with cameras trying to get celebrity photos and this, that, and the third. But then you actually have legitimate videographers, photographers, like you actually have legitimate camera people. That's like they embodied in this. It's not just about I'm trying to snap whatever photo I can get of this celebrity so I can go make some money off of it. I mean, yeah, we do this camera. In this case, I feel like a lot of us who do the camera stuff, we do it for the money, obviously, but at the same time, it's a passion, but like it's passion behind it too, basically. But I would definitely I would still go to Cali though, because I feel like it's just so much it's so much I could soak up and so much that could happen, even in a short span of me being there for real. And I feel like I can capture so much dope stuff there too, or I'd be able to create a lot of dope content.
Wow. Now that I do agree with, 'cause I think Cali is uh, a great place to do things like that. Or in my opinion, any type of content, no matter where you go in Cali. Like Cali is just like one of those bases, you feel me? And a lot of people don't even say Cali anymore nowadays. Like, I don't know why. But when I hear people say Cali, it's like I know what y'all I know that y'all know what y'all talk about. And I know that y'all see what I see basically out there. And you just explained it. Like that's exactly what it is out there. So I really hope you go to Cali someday, man. I feel like you I really do. I think you will, especially with how you do your things, man. So the day I see you in Cali, I'm gonna be like, I knew it. I'm gonna be like, I knew it. Question 5. What has been your favorite thing to shoot so far personally, no matter what it is, or record or anything? Like what has been like your most favorite thing so far?
Mm, honestly, I feel like it has music. Well, as of lately, it has been music videos. Only reason I say that is because I'm entering a whole new chapter in how I do them for real, for real. As far as like the ones where I really get creative. So I'm at a point now where I'm trying to create. I want my visuals to like progressively, but like or slowly but progressively look like mini movies. I don't want you to just because I'm about to, and the reason I'm about to say, hear me out. The reason why I'm saying I'm changed or I want to change them up to that level is because we live in a world where the attention span, especially on social media, is very short. It's one of those situations where you literally got, you realistically got 10 to 15 seconds. Really, in most cases, with a lot of people, you really got about 5 seconds to sell them on why they need to continue to, and that like that you need you got about 5 seconds for real to sell them on if they should just keep watching or if they should jump to the next video. Jump to the next video. Well, with a video, I feel like you got about 15 seconds. I'm about to say with a song, you probably got about 5 seconds sometimes, depending on what the song is. I feel like some people are a little more lenient on videos, but it depends on the content and stuff like that. Because some people want to like see crazy effects, even though I feel like I'm about to say they want to see a lot of crazy effects, a lot of, you know, just mind blowing visual stuff that like is about to pop off the screen for like it almost feel like it's interactive. But I feel like the stuff like the lane that I'm going in, I feel like it's starting to make a comeback, which is like more cinematic video stuff that's driven stuff that's driven behind a story basically. So it's a video that you ain't necessarily watch like you probably watched it because the song was good too. But aside from that, you probably watched it because you were so into that story. Kind of to say like basically the same way how well, I use the ladies as an example, but it's like, shoot, dudes do it too. I feel like dudes do it too, whether they with their girl or if they by themselves. But like when you watching a real good show or you watching a show, you don't like if it's getting good, you get interactive. Like you sitting there like you damn near ready to sit up, or you like, ooh, I wonder what's about that. It has you on the edge of your seat, like I wonder what's about to happen next, or like, oh snap, like so and so was, or if they see a twist at the end, they like, oh, I knew it. I like people really eat stuff like that up for real. Like realistically, they still do.
The reason why I was
So I feel like
smiling,
music video is still, one of my favorite pieces of content to create right now. But that's more so because, like I said, I'm I'm on a journey right now with it. Like I'm in a whole new bag with it, basically.
absolutely, man. That's why I was smiling and laughing so hard. Sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt you, but that's why I was smiling and laughing so hard because you ain't telling no lies. Every video or every like mini series or something that I see is like it has the reason why I keep watching it is because it's something that catches my eye or it's like a twist to the video or something like that. So for you to have that in your head and to know that, man, I
I'm
already
out of
know.
it taps into your mind.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. That's man, look, that's I like you, man. Look, cause you be telling the truth, man. That is so real. Oh my goodness. All right, sorry. Okay. Uh Question 6. This might sound a little funny, but I really have to ask this, especially being in an area where we get 4 seasons, of course. Have you done content in the snow yet, like physically outside in the snow?
Man, I'm about to say I'm about to say for quite a few years now I've done that. Uh, I feel like I've gotten better about it. I'm honest, I definitely feel like I gotten better about it. Because at first, I remember I was the money was calling this, that, and the third. I was so quick to just be on it. I didn't care if I ain't care sometimes if I had no hat on or if I forgot my gloves. Then this is like part of the era was before I had a whip and stuff like that. So I was literally, lugging stuff through the Uber or thugging it out on the bus, like all types of stuff. So it's one of those things where, yeah, like I had to really be out here in this, like, and man, it ain't for the weak. I say that much. I commend anybody else that's out here, the same way how I be out here when it comes to this weather and working still. Most definitely. Not even just the weather that we dealing with right now, but just some of the previous winters we done had. Because I done got a call where the snow was crazy and stuff like that, and I'm thinking I'm not about to get a call. I'm like, shoot, I'm in the crib for the day. Ain't nothing about that. Ain't nothing going down. And then here come one of my people hitting my line like, yeah, I'm trying to shoot a video today. We can meet up at this one spot. All this other stuff. And the snow, I'm about to say it's like the wind blowing crazy right now. It's probably like negatives. It's close to negative something outside. And the snow is like, it's almost past your ankle. Like no, hold on. Still did it though, but yeah, I done been in some situations like that for sure. I done shot some pretty dope videos in the snow though too. So I mean, it's not all like I ain't gonna say it's just all bad. But it ain't for the weak. I'll say that much.
Oh yeah, definitely not for the weak. Me personally, I have tried it, but I'm too skinny for all that cold outside, especially when they hit them negatives and like the ice. Like I be falling. Listen, you a trooper. You are a trooper for sure, man. Like, cause I couldn't
I'm
do
a
it.
big dude now like this, and I don't mess with this.
I gotta respect you for that one. But you better than me. Let me tell you that too. Oh man. Question 7. What are your top 2 favorite moments so far when it comes to like what you do personally?
um, Shoot, that's a tough one. You talking about, or in this case, top 2 moments in my career so
Yeah.
far?
I apologize. Yeah,
Okay.
like anything
Um,
wise.
okay. Well, I know one of them specifically. Free Rio, by the way. But Rio the Young OG, one of the people one of the Flint artists who he made like such a big footprint outside of some of the other Flint artists like Y&J, Louis Ray, RC Mike, people like that. But well, shoot, I was actually in the studio with all of them when this all went down. But it was Rio's last day of being free because he's currently incarcerated. And now this was back in 2021, I believe, when he got locked up. It's a song he has called "Last Day Out" with a video to it and everything like that. The same video that was shot that day, which was supposed to technically be literally the last video that he had shot before he got incarcerated. My homeboy had a feature that he did with him, and also shout out to Lil Bobby, because he's the one who had the feature. I think shortly after we got back from Miami, because he took me out of town to shoot another music video with him or something like that, or a music video for him. But when we got back to Miami shortly after, he wound up hitting me up and telling me that, Rio gonna get locked up, in the morning, or gotta go to jail. You gotta go, you gotta go to jail in the morning, this, that, and the third. We want to try and knock this video out tonight, all this other stuff. It was one of the situations where I was kind of tight about it because what I need for this particular thing, but I'm looking at it like it's a big opportunity and all this other stuff too. So I'm about to go ahead and I'm gonna try and make it happen. I'm about to try and make that happen. Literally, we wound up knocking out the video. Video was very dope. It was very good, and it was like it wasn't even just the moment. Like it was a lot of moments in that one moment, should I say? Like in this specific moment that made this moment so significant, and that's why I choose this one because this was me getting my first chance to work with somebody who got a name, like who has some kind of a name or something like that. Because beforehand, I was trying to work with people like Rocky Bad and all these. Like I was looking at people who was working with them, and I'm like, dang, I'm trying to. It would be dope to have a TVM, logo underneath, that type of name or something like that. One of their videos and stuff. And I always had so much, potential and so much, so many ideas behind that. But to see that, okay, well, this person, even though in this case, like I said, it's a feature, but it still was a good look on my end to be able to network with not one, but multiple people that's leaving that stamp, up north for Michigan right now, but also putting on heavy for Michigan. That was like a really big thing for me. And that was also the day when one of, and it like, I feel like a lot of people say it now. It's weird because I didn't expect for people to kind of catch on to it like that. But I got a lot of people who will like quote they'll quote one of my tags or one of my tags for the video before it comes on. So like it's one of the intros where it's like some smoke and then it pops up with my logo and it says, "Yes, sir, I'm tapped in with TVM, man. Y'all better tap in right now." A lot of people don't know that the voice for that tag was actually YNJ, aka the Coochie Man, who did the tag for the voice. So that was the night that the infamous, audio for that was created for the tag, basically. And a lot of, like I said, and then just hearing the tap in with TV, I feel like I doubled down more on tap in with TVM. I think after that dropped, and I dropped that intro for my videos and stuff. Moment number two, I want to say, moment number two was when I started working with GMAC Cash. It's funny because I didn't expect for that to really go anywhere when we first met each other, as far as when I met him doing the behind the scenes. Shout out to Xerox Visuals also and BlazeGram, because they were the ones that were shooting the video for him when I actually met him. But I got like these dope behind the scenes for the whole thing, and I was doing my networking on that. Even got him to do a little drop talking about, everybody tapping with TVM for the videos, this, that, and the third, and all of that. But it went from me sending him behind the scenes, I think a day after they shot the video and stuff like that, just sent like a little behind the scenes teaser, I guess, for the overall video. Even though he did get the video back a couple days later also, but he was telling me like, damn, these behind the scenes look almost as cold as the video, no faking, this, that, and the third, and we just started talking about basically doing more work. And shortly after he saw that behind the scenes, he hit me up and had me come out to this little get together. And well, no, it wasn't even that. The thing that got us started was he hit me up to shoot a commercial. We shot a commercial for a Boost Mobile in 2021. And then from there it just took off. I might say we shot a commercial for Boost Mobile in 2021. And then I think the same day he wound up hitting me up later on that day talking about pop out to this. He said it was an event or something, but he wanted to shoot a music video that night. And come to find out, I'm literally at this dude people house. Like I done met his moms and everything. And I'm like, okay, well, this is probably going, I'm telling myself, like, depending on how this video play out, this is probably going to actually be a long-standing relationship. I'm actually going to work with this person a lot more. After that video, the rest was history. I'm about to say, we just been tied into working ever since. But I feel like that was a blessing all its own too, because having somebody like that, as an ally and tapping in with me the way he tapping in with me, it put me in a lot of different places that, initially I couldn't have got in. Even though, granted, I had other people that could give me access to certain things, this was just one of those things where it was like, okay, I could be a resource. Like I play my role as a resource too, but there's a resource with this person as well. Like I think GMAC had to, he wound up performing at a, example, he wound up having to perform at like a summer concert or something, or end of the summer concert at Shane Park last year. I'm thinking it's just some like well, I'm seeing like a lot of casual people I done already met. So I'm seeing people like I'm not seeing some of my people up there who be rapping and stuff like that, but they tied in with people. I'm seeing Snap Dogg. I'm seeing Bianca Bad. I'm seeing a lot of different people. But then I start seeing people like, and it was crazy because I wound up staying at the concert after bro left because he did his I think he did his performance, stayed for a little bit, and then he was, he wound up dipping. I wound up staying for the whole thing, but basically, bro got me in a position to where I was able to stand on the same stage and shoot pictures and video footage of people like T Grizzly, Cash Dog. Cash Dog probably, and the crazy part about it was when people was talking about Cash Dog being pregnant, and I remember looking back at the old photos, I was like, this wasn't that like, because I'm looking at I was looking at what she had on and stuff like that in those photos, and I'm like, dang, I was kind of around technically for that too. Like I had like photo proof for when she, because I looked at the pictures after she revealed it, and I'm sitting there like, it like she was low key showing this. It was like some early stuff. And then to be on the stage with somebody like her, G Herbo, T Grizzly, Mooski, like the list goes. It was a lot of people that night, but to be able to, get that type of stuff, and then also having those people actually share my, some of those people shared my work. So they started, I posted some of the photos from the concert, and they shared it. It was I felt like that was just a really good look, but also at the same time, it felt like, hey, having that connection, kind of brought me here, and that was kind of dope because it wasn't like I had to go through a process where I'm paying off security or, I had to pay for the tickets to get in there, this, that, and the third. No, I literally walked straight up in there. Like as soon as I had the people I was with, we was just up in there.
Wow. Okay.
Those are definitely my top 2 moments.
Question 8. Now I kind of touched on this, but I didn't really ask it fully. So like, what is your favorite season to work in personally? Like it's like spring, summer, fall, winter. Like what is your favorite season personally and why?
If I'm being honest, like I think the fall is my favorite time to work in. Only reason I say the fall though is because it seemed more. It feels more visually like it. It just looks visually better sometimes when I'm, as far as what I do when it comes to shooting. Like when the colors of the leaves change and stuff like that. In some cases, you got places where the leaves don't fail. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. So, like, it's just like the right temperature basically for me. Like, I feel like the fall has always been one of my favorite seasons.
Okay.
It's not too hot, not too cold.
My bad. You can still go ahead. I apologize. I was trying to respond. I'm sorry.
No, I said not too hot, not too cold. Basically, that's why I like the fall. Or I feel like the fall is the better one for me.
And I can agree with that honestly because I like to do things when the fall season because of the, like you said, the leaves and the trees and stuff. It's just more visually appealing. Honestly, like one thing that I haven't done fully though is like a whole like photo shoot in the fall yet, like outside. But like
Yeah.
I've been in things where like people have like did like videos and stuff like that, and I've been outside in the fall season, and it just looks so much better than like in my opinion like winter or spring or something like that. Better than the rain. Like the leaves just do something. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Question 9. This might sound kind of silly, but I always have to ask a couple questions to my people. Indoors or outdoors, personally, when it comes to doing anything.
Honestly, I'm gonna say outdoor because it feel like with outdoor on the creative tip, it feel like it feels like it's infinite. It feels like it's infinitely almost it's almost like you can do anything. I feel like you limited when you're inside sometimes when it comes to the video stuff. I feel like you can kind of be limited indoors.
You are the first person that I have interviewed that actually has preferred outdoors and has really like said why. Because most folks are like, I hate the outside, and the outside just does this, and the sun and the moon and the everything else. For you to say like there's more that you can kind of do with outside, it really shows me that you are really about your craft. You can really work with what you got and you can make it look great. You know, most folks are like, I want to do indoors because they have more control indoors, but you can use anything. So I like that. I really do.
So I just came from a depth, and I used to be that same, or in this case, I used to be one of those people who had that type of mindset. But I mean, things change in the play, or I feel like things change when you playing this type of game. So you got to be able to adapt for real when it comes to certain stuff. So that's why I feel like that's why I was like, I feel like outdoors is just where it's at.
Absolutely, man. I definitely agree with that one. You gotta go with the flow. When things change, especially when you're serious. So I agree with that one because most people don't understand that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, question 10. What are your goals as TBM Tone for 2023?
Goes 2023. I like to really establish I feel like 2023, I want to be able to establish a team. Like, not just saying that, or in this case, not just saying that it's people who's connected to all of this, but literally it's, well, you got TVM Tone, obviously, but it's going to be TVM such and such, TVM this person. Or in this case, it ain't even got to be that they got to have TVM attached to their name, but it's the fact that it's little, is literal legit affiliation behind that, basically. Like, I would like to bring on some employees to this, basically. Like, on the not only just like with certain stuff like paperwork and stuff like that, but I would like to bring in people for like, I would like to bring in aspiring shooters. I would like to bring in, aspiring editors and even people that can animate. Cause I was just talking to I was just having a conversation about this with my girls and my girl and my man's the other night about videos and stuff, because my girl said something about, wanting to do like strictly animated videos, but the pretty much talking about the significance of animated videos, and I thought that was kind of dope. And I told myself, or I spoke somewhere in the midst of that conversation about the fact that I did want to try and find like a dope animator, like somebody who know what they doing when it come to, in this case, not only just making a cartoon. I feel like, I feel like that, that when it comes to animation is only half the battle. If you can draw it, okay, that's cool. But if you can make this, like, if you can make it move, if you can turn it into, because I'm starting to, like, that's an era I'm starting to see, like, a big rise of, too. It's like, it's some outcode, graphic designers, basically, who, like, they're not just doing logos or cartoons. These fools making the image move on you. They making it go 3D. They adding the props in the 3D stuff. I got a couple people who I know actually do some dope 3D animation stuff, but they kind of seasoning this as well. But my whole thing is, like I said, I want to be able to try and find somebody that could build up on that, like really just build up a team for real, and then hopefully probably have like a legit headquarters behind this too, because I just feel like, well, like a headquarters slash studio to work out of, basically, because I feel like that's gonna bring way more. I feel like it's just gonna bring more clientele for real, for real. And the only reason I say that is because I watched the formula behind people who have similar formulas based around what I do, basically. Like, they do stuff similar to the way I do stuff. And then I've also actually kind of tapped in with some of these people, so like I've gotten a taste of the game, basically. Like, these are people who don't work with so and so and this, that, and the third. They really done kind of they done put some names under their belt to where it's like, okay, you gonna know you gonna know who he is, you gonna know who she is, this, that, and the third. So I feel like those are like the goals for me. I really want to just build this up to I want to build this up to be something that could really, put a stamp on it, basically. I feel like 2023 is going to be the year that it's going to be a stamp on 2020, or TVM is going to have its stamp, basically. Like, I want to be a household name, or to sum it up, because I feel like I just gave a whole bunch of detail. I just want to be a household name by 22 or in 2023. By the end of 2023, TVM will be a household name, and it's something that you talk about Detroit, if you talk about Detroit the same way how a Super A, Jerry P, Lace Visuals, Kogo Loud, Stash House, Ayo Nino, that camera rolling, all of these people. So it's one of those things where I want TVM to be a part of that conversation. Like, that's where I'm trying to push it at this point. Like, I want to be a part of the conversation.
Wow. That, and you didn't tell too much detail neither. That's actually what I want to hear. And I'm glad that you did. And in my opinion, I will say it again. I am proud of you. You are inspiration to a lot of people out here and folks. And you are really doing your thing, man. And I believe that you will be a name, especially when it comes to the city, when it comes to the state of Michigan, when it comes to the Midwest, anything. When it comes to us here, I feel like you will be a household name. And I'm rooting for you. I really am. I always see your stuff on social media. I see when you drop things on your stories, like people watching you, man. And you are just so great at what you do. And I'm glad that you love it because we could tell. So shout out to you, man. I wish you nothing but the best in what you do, honestly. And congratulations again to you as well. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, man. I am just
I
genuinely
appreciate
happy.
that.
I really am.
Guys.
Is there anything else you want to say? Like, you want to shout out your social medias, anything coming out new, video wise, shooting wise, anything like that? This is your time for you. Now, I apologize. I didn't give you a chance to do this at the beginning. I was just so excited to interview you because there was just so much I just wanted to hear. So this is your moment, your time. Just go for it.
Okay. Well, for anybody that's looking to find me on social media, the handle for Facebook is Demetrius Jones, DemetriusJones. The Instagram is TVM Tone, TVMTone. I'm about to say, I believe it's probably going to be in the title of the thing, as far as actually my brand name. So you just type that in on Instagram and it's going to pop up. Or I'm pretty sure if you hit a hashtag, it'll probably, like, something of mine's going to pop up that'll probably connect you to it. But it shouldn't be that hard to find me on Instagram. You can also, I'm pretty sure you can probably Google it and it'll probably give you my YouTube and stuff like that. As far as anything coming soon, I'm still waiting on, I guess, I thought it was going to drop before the end of 2023, but it might drop next year. I did shoot a video for one of Lil Boosie's artists, Spiffy Luciano. So I'm looking forward to hopefully that video dropping sometime in early 2023. That's actually my first time working with an artist under a label. So, like, under like major label Empire. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that whole situation goes. But also, for anybody that taps into the YouTube, which once again, the YouTube is TVM Tone, just be on the lookout. Before the end of next week, I'm gonna have a reel of all of the videos I shot this year made. I really didn't, or I try to do a reel at the end of the year when it comes to my videos and stuff like that, but sometimes I never really find the time around to do it, or sometimes I get hyped up to do it and then I get discouraged and I don't even feel it no more. I don't even want to do it no more. But I'm definitely going to drop a reel this year. I feel like it was a lot of work, that was put in. It's crazy because I haven't necessarily never really counted my videos like piece by piece, but I know I definitely, especially this year alone, I feel like I done shot 100 plus, but I've shot over 200 some videos, or it's probably over 3 if I really actually sit down and look at it. But this has been one heck of a journey to say like, yo, you done shot this much. I definitely feel like I shot a lot of videos this year more specifically though. Like it was a lot of film work done. And that wasn't even just music videos, but that was stuff like a lot of nightlife events, whether it was regular clubs, strip clubs, birthday parties, like birthday parties at people's venues and stuff like that. I think I did do a prom. I say proms. No, I didn't do a wedding this year. I'm about to say weddings, but I did do a wedding last year. That's something I want to get more into. Hopefully, I want to say this upcoming year too. Also, is I want to do more weddings. I don't know. Shooting them, they're kind of dope, and I feel like they're pretty dope. Like I did it a couple different times, or I had a couple opportunities to do it, and it was very enjoyable, and it was very interesting to see what I came up with as far as the finished product, video wise and photo wise, for somebody that did all of this by himself. Which that's another reason why I said I want to try and incorporate more of a team next year, because I feel like that's something that's been holding me back as well, is the fact that I got to learn how to pass the ball. Basically, I got to learn how to fully play well with others. Like, and it's not that I got a problem with it, but it's just I get so caught up in just basically when you have to do it on your own, for like when you're so used to doing it on your own and just making it happen, it'd be hard to go ahead and incorporate, or in this case, it'd be hard to incorporate other people into what you got going on. And then aside from that, you want the same flow to happen, basically. Like you wanted to, like you got your flow of how you do things. So if you bring somebody in the mix, you want that same flow to not be interrupted, even if they don't know what your flow is and they trying to kind of get in the groove of it. You don't want them to interrupt that flow. But in most cases, when you do put people in the mix like that, shoot, they wind up elevating it. They wind up, bringing something to it. And I'm just hoping for that when it comes to, the shooters that I bring in the mix, editors. So, I mean, that's about it though, as far as on my end. Other than that, yeah, I'm just ready for 2023. I'm ready for Christmas. I'm ready for a lot of stuff. I'm ready for my son to be born. I'm ready to meet him too. But yeah.
That's a blessing, man. Look, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here with me, the Energetic J. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Make sure you go check out TVM Tone. Check out his social medias, his Facebook, his Instagram, his YouTube. Show him some love. He's really good at what he does, man. Go definitely check him out. And I will see you guys next video. Bye. Hey.